Hello friends, a very good evening to all of you and a warm welcome once again on the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. So friends, I'm Gaurav Gupta and in this series of Last Lap to CAT 2022, I believe all of you are ready to rock and roll in this session. So tell me all of you. So Varun, good evening. Sankirtana, good evening to all of you. So friends, welcome once again in this session. Please, first of all, quickly confirm if I'm audible and clearly visible to all of you. Education word, good evening. Harika, good evening. Hello everyone. Okay, so Sankirtana, right now I cannot fulfill this particular demand. Okay, but definitely the sets that I have selected in today's session are wonderful sets. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll definitely try to incorporate your request in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so I'll try to do that. Don't worry about that. But first of all, quickly confirm if I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. Yaneshwari, good evening. Lijo, good evening. Uh, Seeing you after a very long time in this sessions. Parth, good evening. All right, so a lot of students are already there, and welcome back once again in yet another session in the series Last Lap to CAT 2022. And this is a series of 20 PARPAC sessions, and definitely attending all these sessions will boost your score in all the three sections. All right. Now, friends, in this session today, we'll be looking at two wonderful sets of arrangements. Now, since we all are preparing for CAT, right? We all are preparing for CAT, and the name of the series is Last Lap to CAT 2022. So, I can say that the level of difficulty should also be according to the level of difficulty of CAT. So, that is why I have made myself like the sets which are of a little higher level of difficulty. I can say that they will lie in the range of moderate to difficult. One of the sets is very difficult as well. And using these sets, understanding these sets will definitely enable you to solve the similar level of difficulty questions in CAT 2022. All right. So friends, I hope all of you are ready, and without wasting any time, we can go ahead and start with the very first set of the evening. Now, I want each and every one of you to take out your pens and like two or three sheets of paper, okay? And do participate 100% in this session. Now, whatever sets we'll be solving, definitely if you want to understand the solution, you will have to solve it yourself. If you are unable to get the final answer, at least you'll have to begin with the solution. You'll have to start scribbling, doing some rough work so that you'll be able to understand the solution that I'll be telling you. All right. So you just cannot you just cannot sit and watch this session like a news channel. You'll have to give your 100%. And if you are doing that, definitely you are going to increase your level of competence in this year's CAT. All right. Okay. Varun is having a query that doing Sudoku daily can help in boosting logic of solving LRDI questions. Now, Varun, if you are a candidate who is preparing for CAT this year, CAT 2022, then I'll say that it's too late to start with solving Sudoku puzzles or any of the puzzles like that. But definitely, any student who is preparing for CAT the next year and he or she has a good amount of time, then they can start building up their logical reasoning with these kind of puzzles that are there in the newspapers. So definitely they will help you, but not in this short span of time of somewhere around 40 days. So if you have plenty of time, if you have around 1.5 year for your preparation, then you can basically then you can start with these basic type of puzzles. All right. Good evening, Amrit. Welcome all of you. So friends, let's quickly enter into the first set. Now I'll be displaying complete information to all of you. Okay, the information for the first set is on a single screen, and as soon as I'll start the timer. I'll give you somewhere around 3 to 4 minutes to decode whatever information is given in this set. So the first set on your screen, it will be there in few minutes, but let's talk about the weightage of this particular area. So importance bhi dekhna zaruri hai. Okay, so definitely I can say that this is arrangements. This is one of the most important areas in CAT. Okay, every year without failing we have seen at least one set coming from the arrangements, at least one set. There have been instances when we have seen more than two sets. Okay, so this year we are right now not sure about the pattern of LRDI section of CAT, but we are expecting at least four sets in this year's LRDI. There's gonna be one set on arrangements. Now, arrangements can be of any type. It can be linear arrangement, it can be circular arrangement, it can be number arrangements. So the sets that I've selected for today's session, one of them is a linear arrangement. It's not a very simple linear arrangement. It is arrangement in two different rows. Okay. And the second set is a wonderful set, a very difficult set on numbers arrangement. Okay. So let's get into the very first set for the day, the information on your screen now. So these are the directions for the first four questions. Yes, plenty of directions. I told you that we are preparing for CAT. This session is specially designed to match the level of difficulty of LRDI section of CAT. So definitely you are going to see some difficult questions in these sessions. So you have somewhere around 3.5 minutes to decode the information, to read the information and prepare a table for yourself. Now I'll read this question for all of you. Now A, B, C, D, E, P, Q, R, S, T are 10 friends living in 10 houses built in two parallel rows of 5 houses such that A, B, C, D, E are living on left and P, Q, R, S, T are living on right side of a road such that the two rows of 5 houses, that one house faces exactly one house on the opposite side. Okay, so 5 houses, they are facing each other, right? Now the houses A, B, C, D, E are colored one out of gray, black, blue, red and green, and the P, Q, R, S, T are colored out of yellow, purple, white, orange and pink in such a way that all 10 colors are used to color exactly one house. So there are no multicolored houses. Okay, so every house is painted in a single color. Now the other known facts are, so there are 6 statements after that. So they will help you in drawing this arrangement properly. Now, first is none of A, B, C, Q, R, T stays in any house at the extreme ends of any row. Okay. Second statement, the colors of the houses at the extreme ends of the two rows are pink, yellow, green, and gray. Third statement, R who stays in the purple house is not in the middle house in the row. Fourth, B who stays in black house does not have his house facing Q. Who does not stay in the White House? So who does not stay in the White House? Q does not stay in the White House. Fifth, B and C are not immediate neighbors, whereas S, R, and T have their houses next to each other. Last condition, D who lives in a gray house does not face P who lives in the pink colored house. Now what you can do is, when I'll move on to the next page, you can keep a snapshot of this screen with yourself. Okay, so those who will be lagging a little bit behind, I'll tell you, all of you must take a screenshot of this conditions and I'll be making the table without coming back to these conditions. Okay. All right, so whenever you want me to start with the solution, you can tell me. Otherwise, I'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll start decoding this set. Okay, the believer is asking, sir, when will be matrix revision? So, believer, believe me, there will be some sessions on this as well, the topic that you are asking. Now, we'll not be leaving any of the important areas. So, we'll be covering each and every important area for all of you so that you can definitely increase your score in all the three sections. All right, so time to start solving this set. I'll be very slow. Okay, now I just want all of you to take a snapshot of this screen. Okay, because I'll not be coming back to the screen. I have already taken a snapshot. Okay, so I'll be referring that snapshot and we'll be solving this question. Okay, fine. All right, so let's start with this. So what all constraints are there? So first of all, we have two rows. So let us understand what should be or how should we be drawing the table for this particular question. So we have two rows. In one row, there are 5 houses. In another row, there are 5 houses. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E are on one side and P, Q, R, S, T are on the other side. So left and right, these are the two sides. Okay, now they have also defined the houses, the color houses for ABCDE separately and for PQRS that if we are facing any problem. All right, now can you please confirm if you are getting a proper reception? So guys, we are trying to resolve it. Just give me a few seconds, okay? Yes, yes, yes. So I'll be beginning this question from the okay, yes, yes, yes. I'll do it from the beginning. Okay, so is the things all right now? So there was some technical glitches. Now I hope everything should be correct, should be fine. Okay, all right. So we are back again. So I'll start this question from the beginning now. Okay, I'll start it from the beginning for all of you. All right, no worries. Now we can start it once again. So I'll start from the very first conditions. Okay, so friends, A, B, C, D, E on the left hand side, A, B, C, D, E, and P, Q, R, S, T on the right hand side. Okay, I'll also write the color of their houses. So for A, B, C, D, E, it will be gray, black, blue, red, green. So gray, black, blue, red, and green. Okay, and on the right hand side, it is yellow, purple, white, yellow, purple, white, orange, and pink. All right, so these are the 5 colors on the right hand side. Now, first condition, none of A, B, C are at the extreme ends. So if A, B, and C are not at the extreme ends, it will be either D or E. And similarly, at the other end, it will be E or D. Also, Q, R, and T. Q, R, and T are not at the extreme ends. So it will be either P or S or vice versa, right? Second condition, the color of the houses at the extreme ends are pink, yellow. So on the right hand side, it can be either pink or yellow, yellow or pink, right? And on the left hand side, it can be green or gray for the houses. Okay, fine. So इसको proper column में लिख देते हैं. So it will be either D or E. It will be E or D, and the colors will be green or gray. Green or gray. and similarly at the end it will be gray or green. All right, I have written two statements. Now the third condition, all of you, R who stays in the purple house is not in the middle house in any row. So R के house का color तो पता है purple है, okay, but R cannot be in the middle. Okay, so R will be either in house number 2, I can say that this is house number 2, or house number 4 in the row on the right hand side. Okay, so third condition I have mentioned on the screen. Let's go to the fourth condition. Now B who stays in the black house, so B का भी घर हमें पता है कौन सा कलर है, so B who stays in a black house does not have his house facing Q. So B does not face Q. So B and Q will not be opposite to each other. Okay, now Q who does not stay in the white house. So Q does not stay in the white house. So Q's house's color is not white. Okay, now let's talk about this thing. P and S will have either pink or yellow. R will have purple. Q will not have white. So Q के house का color क्या होना चाहिए? It should be orange. So I can very well mention now that the house color of Q will be orange. Okay, so Q's house color will be orange. All right, and the fifth person who is, yes, who is T. So T's house color will be white. Okay, so with this information I have got to know about the colors. Okay, right, now let's move forward and look at the next statement. Statement number 5. Now B and C are not immediate neighbors. So B and C are not immediate neighbors. Let's come to the left hand side of the rows. So B and C are not the immediate neighbors. Now for A, B and C, these are the three places. Now if B and C are not the immediate neighbors, they will be at this place, and A will be in the middle. So either B or C, either C or B, I can put it, and A will definitely in the middle house of the row on the left hand side. Okay, fine. And B and C will come at 2 and 4. So B and C not immediate neighbors, whereas S, R and T are neighbors. So S, R and T are neighbors. So S, R, T will be the neighbors. Now we can deduce some more information using this point. S, R and T are neighbors. Now S will either be at the first or the last place. Fine. Accordingly, R will be either at second or fourth, but T will always be in the middle. Okay, T हमेशा middle में आएगा because S, R and T are having adjacent houses. Okay, and the color of the house of T is white. So we have fixed the position of the house of T and the color as well. And A का position fix हो गया है, but A का अभी color नहीं पता. Okay, so we will get into this as well. Right? Okay, now let's read the last statement. D, who lives in the gray house, does not face P. Now let's start with an assumption. Okay, so before I'll go ahead, I'll start with an assumption that D on the left hand side stays in the first house. Okay, so D in the first house, I'll remove E from here. So E will be staying in the last house. Okay, now statement number 6 says that D who lives in gray house. So D color is gray. So E's color will be green. All right, so I have used this condition. Now they're saying that D does not face P. So if D does not face P, P cannot be in the first house, P will be in the last house. Okay, so S will be in the first house on the right hand side and P will be on the last house on the right hand side. I'm taking an assumption, don't worry about this. Okay, now P who lives in pink colored house. So P lives in pink colored house. So S will live in yellow colored house and P will live in pink colored house. All right. So with just one assumption that D stays in the first house on the left hand side of the row, I have deduced this much, these many things. Okay. Now, if R is in the first house, sorry, if S is in the first house, so R will be in the second house, T will be in the third house, and then Q will be in the fourth house. The color of the house of Q is orange. Okay, so the color of the house of R का तो हमें पता है, it will be purple. All right, so right hand side is sorted. I have started with an assumption. No worries at all. Now, the statement once said that B will not face Q. One of the statements told us that B will not face Q. Now, Q is already in the fourth house on the right hand side. So, B cannot be in the fourth house on the right hand side. Okay, so I'll remove B from here. Okay, so C will be in the fourth house and B will be in the second house. So, the sequence for A, B, C, D, E is done on the left hand side. Now, let's talk about the colors. B is living in the black color house. So यहाँ पे black आ जाएगा. Okay. Now for A and C, I believe we don't have any fixed color. Okay. So for A and C, which color is left? Gray is over, green is over, black is over. So blue or red is left for A and C. All right. So one of these colors will come for either A or C. Right. Now here, you all have seen that I have taken an assumption. Okay, I have taken an assumption. Right. Now, if I'll take the next thing, if I'll take the other assumption that D instead of living in the first house on the left hand side, D lives in the last house, then the arrangement will completely reverse. Okay, ये वाला arrangement completely reverse हो जाएगा. Okay, so yes, all of you are absolutely correct. Lijo said A will be blue red, C will be either blue red. Okay, so what I can do is I can make another arrangement, though there is no need to write that. If D instead of this place will come at the last place, then the entire arrangement will, I can say that it will be the mirror image. Okay, so both the things will reverse. So D will go at the last place and S will also go at the last place and the arrangements will reverse. Okay, right? All right, so we can say that there can be two possible arrangements. Now let's see the questions based on that. So I have made these two possible arrangements for all of you. So this is the arrangement that we have drawn, one of the final structures. But if we reverse their positions, you will get another arrangement like this. All right, am I clear? So Lijo says yes, true. All right, okay, so guys, give me a thumbs up, all of you. Yes, Lijo, you have already got two cases. Others have also got two cases. Right, wonderful. So these will be the different two cases that we can get. Now let's get into the questions one by one. So I want all of you to be very attentive. Okay, so be attentive and give me answers for all these questions. Okay, give me answers for all these questions one by one. Question number one on your screen now. Yes, Varun, the colors will also reverse. So the entire arrangement will reverse. Okay, definitely. Now, first question, which of these are definitely the colors of the two houses exactly in the middle of the respective rows? Which of these are definitely the colors of the two houses exactly in the middle of the respective rows? Yes, I am looking an answer. Come on. I'm looking for an answer from all of you. Yes. All right, perfect. Okay, so let's have a look at the arrangement. Now they're talking about the middle houses. So middle houses on the right hand side, it is fixed. Yes, it is T and the color is white. So definitely white will be one of them. But on the left hand side, I don't know if it is blue or red. So simple answer cannot be determined. All right. So option D is absolutely correct. And yes, all of you have given the correct answer. Lovely. Wonderful. Okay. So cannot be determined will be the correct answer. Question number 2. Which of the following can be the color of the house opposite to the red colored house? Any answer for this one? Okay, Amrit. So let's look at the arrangement. So opposite to red colored house, which of the following can be the color? Okay, now look at the language of the question. In the previous question, they have asked the answer definitely. But here they are asking which of the following can be the color of the house opposite to red color house. So red color ke opposite, it can be white or it can be orange. So there can be two possibilities. Let's see which of these are there in the option. So out of white and orange, only orange is there in the option. So yes, the correct answer should be option B. Yes, it is. Question number 3. Now read it carefully. Which of the following statements, if true, is or are sufficient to uniquely determine the color of the houses of all the 10 people? Statement number 1, T does not live in the orange house. Statement number 2, the blue house is exactly in the middle of black and red. Statement number 3, the blue house is exactly opposite the house in which T lives. You have 4 options. Quickly mention which of these options is correct. Okay, now if I look at statement number 1, T does not live in orange house. T does not live in orange house. Now definitely we already know that T lives in white house. So this statement is not at all useful. So statement number 1 is not useful. Okay, so I can say that option A cannot be the answer. Option D cannot be the answer. Let's talk about statement 2. The blue house is exactly in the middle of black and red. Now, blue is in the middle of black and red. So that means this particular combination, this particular arrangement will be sorted. So if black is the second house, blue will be the third and red will be the fourth. Okay. So yes, this particular statement alone will be able to give us unique combination of the house and the person. So answer will be option or statement 2. Now I'll have to check statement 3. The blue house is exactly opposite to the house in which T lives. So blue house is exactly opposite to T. So again, this will be able to uniquely determine. Okay, so T ke opposite blue hona chahiye. So this will be red. So yes, second alone or third alone, but not one alone should be the answer. So yes, so those who have given the answer, most of you have given option C as the answer. One of the students has given B as the answer. So I hope all of you are clear that answer should be option C. Okay. Last question in this set, question number 4. Q lives in the house of which color? The easiest one of all. Q lives in the house of which color? So looking at the arrangement, Q lives in orange colored house. Okay, so the correct answer should be option C, and yes, it is the correct answer. Okay, all right. Now I hope all of you have understood this particular set, right? Now this set, though was not difficult, I will keep this set somewhere in the range of moderate. Okay, so this will be the level of difficulty will be moderate for this particular set that we have just done. Now the next set that you are going to see, believe me, it's a lovely set, it's a wonderful set, and you'll be playing with a lot of numbers in this set. Not heavy calculations, but there will be a lot of numbers. Okay, so all of you be ready for the next set. Okay, so the next set will be there in front of you now. Now the information will be given on 2 different screens. Okay, so this is slide number 1, the first set of information for the second set. So the next 4 questions will be based on this. I'll read these statements for all of you. Now you can note down the names and the numbers from this slide, and then I'll stay on the second slide where majority of the information will be there. Okay, so 8 players: Babar, David, Faf, Jason, Joseph, Rohit, Ross, and Virat are the top scorers in the IBC World T20 Championship with the scores of, so there are 8 scores given, not necessarily in the same order. Definitely. Okay. The second statement says the number of sixes hit by them were 4, 7, 7, 10, 12, 16, and 16. Again, not necessarily the same order. The number of fours hit by them were 10, 13, 20, 25, 37, 38, 40, and 45. Again, obviously not necessarily in the same order. So this is what our job is, to arrange them in the order. Okay. Now, last, each 6 counts as 6 runs, obviously, and each 4 as a 4 run. The run scoring shots were other than 6s and 4s as well. Okay, so there are some other run scoring shots as well, other than 4s and 6s. So the information is about the total score by each of these players, not necessarily in the same order. The number of 6s and the number of 4s hit by them, again, not necessarily in the same order. Okay. Now I want all of you to click a picture of this, use it as a snapshot, or just note down some important piece of information, their names, okay, their scores, and the number of 6s and the number of 4s. Okay, so just note down these things somewhere, and then I'll take you to the next slide where all or the entire information will be there to arrange them in the order of their names, corresponding to their total scores, corresponding to the number of 6s as well as the number of 4s. Okay, so let's move on. A wonderful set. Let's see how many of you are able to do this one. So this next set of information on your screen now. All right, Janeshwari and Varun, good that you are confirming that you have noted. Lovely. So these 7 statements will help you in determining who has scored how many runs and hit how many 6s as well as 4s. I'll stop on the screen for a few minutes, like somewhere around 2.5 to 3 minutes, and then I'll help you in solving this set. Make sure that you're not sitting idle, okay, and you are at least reading these statements and trying to put them in a proper arrangement. Okay. No, Varun, it cannot be the average. Okay. So basically the first statement, so I'll make you understand the meaning of this. Now for each player, the runs scored in 6s lie in the range of 10 to 40% of their total score. Okay. Now let's say a person who has scored 450 runs, 10% of this is 45 and 40% of this is 180. So the number of 6s or the number of runs that this person has scored in 6s, it should be in this range. So that means 45 runs score करने के लिए minimum कितने 6s चाहिए? Yes. So 7 into 7 is 49. 7 into 7 into 6 is 42. Okay, and 8 into 6 is 48. So I need 8 sixes minimum. All right, and maximum it will be 30. All right, 30 into 6 is 180. So the number of sixes of a person who has scored 140 runs will lie in the range of 8 to 30. All right, so this is what they are telling about. You cannot take the average. Minashri, this is the set that is of the level of difficulty of CAT. This is not a previous year paper questions. These are not previous year paper questions. So these are the original questions, you can say. This set may come in CAT 2022. Give your 100%, more than 100%, because the solution will be very, very logical in this case. All right, I'll wait for another minute and then all of us together will solve this question. Okay. So I'll not take a screenshot of this screen, and I'll keep coming back to each and every statement because I want to solve this set with all of you. Okay, so all of us, let's start solving this set. Okay, one by one. So I have written some important piece of information on the next slide. So I have written the name of the players, I have written the scores, I have written the number of sixes and the fours. So what I'll do is I'll start by feeding this table with the runs. Okay, so runs in descending order. So 450, 412, 395, 380, 364, 288, 256 and 182. Okay, now if I'll go back to the conditions, the first condition tells me that for each of the players, the runs scored in sixes lie in the range of 10 to 40%. Okay, all of you carefully listen and have a look at it. Now the runs scored in sixes should be in the range of 10 to 40% of their total score. So let's write the possibilities of the number of sixes that each one of them would have hit. I'm not writing the names because right now I have no information about the names, but the number of sixes. So for number of sixes, 10 to 40%, I'll write the range here, 10 to 40%. All right. So for the first person who has scored a total of 450 runs, iska 10% kitna hoga? 45, and 40% will be 180. So number of runs scored in sixes should be in the range of 45 and 180. So what can be the number of sixes that this person can hit? This is one simple question. Okay, so tell me, a person who has scored 450 runs, what can be the possibilities of number of sixes that this person has hit out of the number of sixes given above? Nihar, possibilities. So Nihar, minimum it should be 45 runs, maximum it should be 180 runs in the number of sixes. Okay, so number of sixes should be in the range of 8 to 30. This I have already told you. So any number which is in the range of 8 to 30. So we have four numbers. It can be 10, 12, 16 or 16. So 16 repeat ho raha hai. So I'll write it as 10, 12 or 16. Am I clear? Yes or no? So the possibility here can be 10, 12 or 16, right? Are we clear, guys? So 10, 12, 16, it can be any of these three numbers. Okay. Now let's do it for the next one in the similar manner. So 412, इसके लिए range क्या हो जाएगा? 41.2 and 164 point something. Okay. So number of sixes इसके लिए क्या क्या हो सकते हैं? It can be 7 as well for this person. 7, 10, 12 and 16. Okay. For the next person. So Nihar, yes, I have read just the first condition. So I'm filling up this one. Okay. You are absolutely right. So once we'll read other statements, we will get to deduce that information. So no worries. I'll come to that. Now for the next one, similarly, I'll fill. So 39.5. So it will be either 7, 10, 12 or 16. 380. So it will again be 7, 10, 12 and 16. I'm just writing the possibilities. 7, 10, 12, 16 for this one. For 288, 28, 42, 4 नहीं हो सकता इसके लिए भी. Again 7, 10, 12, 16. Okay. 25.6. Again 4 sixes cannot come here. So 7, 10, 12 and 16. All right. Now number of sixes, which is 4, cannot come for the top 7 scores. So definitely number of sixes, which is equal to 4, should come at the last place. All right. So I have filled this one, the number of sixes. Am I clear up till this point? Okay. So Varun, number of sixes 8 से लेके 30 तक हो सकते थे. This can be the number of sixes. Now look at, these are the only possibilities for the number of sixes. Okay. So 4, 7, 10, 12, 16. If the number of sixes is 4, the run scored will be 24. Hence not eligible. If the number of sixes is 7, 7 into 6 is 42. 42 is still less than 45. All right. So it can be 10, 12 or 16. Okay. Am I clear? Yes, Lijo, I'll repeat the last point. So at the end, what I have done is, I am saying that one of the possibilities of number of sixes is 4. So one person has hit 4 sixes. And it is not among these 7 people whose number of sixes, whose possibility for the number of sixes I have written. Okay. So none of these 7 batsmen have scored or have hit 4 sixes. So that means 4 sixes will be hit by the last person. All right, Lijo, I hope I'm clear with this. Okay. Now let's read one more statement that who was saying earlier, Nihar was mentioning. Okay. So let's look at all the information related to the number of sixes. Now 2 players who hit the maximum number of sixes are in the bottom 3. 2 players who hit the maximum number of sixes are in the bottom 3 in terms of total runs scored. So maximum number of sixes kaun sa hai? Maximum number of sixes is 16. So these 2 players have hit maximum number of sixes and they should be in the bottom 3 as far as the total runs scored. Okay. Now the bottommost person has already hit 4 sixes. So I can say that these 2, 1 and 2, the 6th rank and the 7th rank person will hit 16 sixes, will hit the maximum number of sixes. Okay, I'll repeat, I'll go back to the statement. The two players who hit the maximum number of sixes, so maximum number of sixes, 16 and 16, are in the bottom three in terms of total scores. So these will lie in the bottom three. So bottom three may say bottommost has already hit 4 sixes. So the other two will hit 16 sixes. So now I can say that for these two persons, the number of sixes will be 16 and 16 each. So now I can remove the option of 16 from all the other cases. Okay. So no one else can score 16 sixes, right? I am clear, I hope, up till this point. Okay, now let's go back and look at the other conditions. Condition number 4, the player who are in the bottom three in terms of runs scored in sixes as a percentage of total runs scored by them are all in the top 4. My God. So another useful information about the number of sixes. So the players who are in the bottom three in terms of, now understand bottom three in what terms? Bottom three in terms of runs scored in sixes as a percentage of total runs scored. Now runs scored in sixes as a percentage of total runs scored are in the top 4. Now let's talk about the remaining people. So bottom three are filled. Now they are talking about the top 4. So wait, let me erase some useless data. So they are saying that 3 persons who are in the bottom 3 as far as percentage of runs scored in sixes as a percentage of total score will be in the top 4. Now who can these persons be? These persons will be the persons who have scored, who have hit 7 sixes. So 7 sixes wale kitne log hain? How many batsmen are there who have hit 7 sixes? These are 3. Okay. And these 3 people will lie in top 4. Alright. So that means the person who is at 5th number has not hit 7 sixes, but the person who are in top 4 have hit 7 sixes. Now out of these, only 2nd, 3rd and 4th number players have the option of hitting 7 sixes. So now 777 can also be filled at these places. Okay. So I'll fill 7, 7 and 7 at these places. So 7 cannot come at place number 5. Okay. So now I am sorted, almost sorted with the number of sixes. Okay. So here I have 2 possibilities. Here I have 2 possibilities of 10 and 12. Okay. So almost sorted with the number of sixes, right? Let's look at this thing once again. Dhyanesh wants me to repeat. So Dhyanesh, understand, 4th statement, I'm talking about the players who are in bottom 3 in terms of the runs scored in sixes as a percentage of total runs. So runs scored in sixes as a percentage of total runs, I can calculate for everyone. Now the players who are in bottom 3, so the player whose percentage is in the bottom 3, okay, these 3 players are lying in the top 4 in terms of total runs scored. Okay, so now who will be these 3 players? These 3 players will be the players who have hit minimum number of sixes, that is 7 sixes, and these 3 players are in top 4 in terms of total runs scored. So people or players who have hit 7 sixes should lie in the top 4. All right. The topmost player has not an option of hitting 7 sixes. So that means it will be player number 2, 3 and 4. All right. So Dhyanesh, this is what I have just mentioned. Okay. Now let's go further. So this set is actually difficult, a wonderful set. Okay. Now let's talk about the number of 4s as well. Second statement which I have left earlier. So let's move on to the second statement. So the runs scored in 4s lie in the range of 20 to 40%. So 20 to 40% की range होनी चाहिए. Okay, so again let me erase some useless data. So ये वाला हटा देते हैं चीज. 6s का हो चुका है, almost done. So number of 4s should be in the range of 20 to 40% of the total score. So number of 4s 10, 13, 20, 25, 37, 38, 40, 45. Let's start filling them. So the topmost, let's start with the topmost. For the topmost, the range can be 45 से लेके 20%. So 90, the score will be from 90 to 180. So 90 to 180. Now for 90, how many 4s do I need to hit? I need to hit a minimum of 23 4s. So these can be the possibility for this person. 25, 37, 38, 40 and 45. Okay. Now a lot of possibilities. So why not start with the bottommost? सबसे नीचे से start करते हैं. So person who has scored a total of 182 runs, his range will be 18 to 72. Okay, 18 to 72. So that means number of 4s can be 10. Yes, it can be possible. 13. Yes, it can be possible. But 24s are not possible for this person. So only two options, 10 and 13. Only two possibilities, 10 and 13. All right. Fine. I believe abhi tak samajh mein aa raha hai. Okay. Right. Now for the next one, 256. So 20% will be somewhere around 51. Okay. And 102 approximately. So number of 4s can be 13 into 4 is 52. So yes, it can be 13. It can be 20. It can be 25. Only these three possibilities. Right? For the next one, 288. So 57 approximately and 114. So he cannot hit 13 sixes, 13 fours. No. So possibility can be either 20 or 25. 37 cannot be the possibility. So only two options, 20 or 25. Right? Okay. Let's move on to the next one. 364. So from here 73 and 146 approximately, and I'm removing the decimals. ठीक है ना? So 73 से 146. So 13 नहीं हो सकता, 20 possible है, 25 possible है, 37 into 4, 74, 148. Yes, 37 is also not possible. So for him, again 20 and 25 are possible. Now I'll stop here and observe that these two can have only two options, 20 or 25. So can I say that 20 and 25 number of 4s will be distributed among only these two persons and nobody else should hit 20 or 25 4s, right? Because they have only these possibilities. So 20 and 25 will be among them. So no other person can score 20 or 25 4s. So the second last person, rank 7 जो है, rank 7 will hit how many 4s? For all of you, rank 7 will hit how many 4s? I'll put the ranks so that you can identify them quickly. So rank 7 will hit how many 4s? So for rank 7, 20 and 25, this options will not be available. So for rank 7, I can say that only 13 can be the possibility. Only 13 can be the possibility. Also, for rank 8, if 13 is already gone, for rank 8, the only possibility will be 10 4s. So 10, 13, then next two are 20 or 25. So now 20 or 25 will be distributed among these two. So 10 is gone, 13 is gone, 20 and 25 for 5 and 6 places. Again, these options are gone. So no other can score these many 4s, and let's talk about the remaining. Now, next is rank number 4. 380 is the score, 38, 10%, then 76, 76 to 152. So 76 से लेके 152. All right. So 37, it is possible. Okay. And 38 into 4 is Yes, 38 is also possible. So for this person, 37 or 38, these are the two possibilities. Now for rank number 3, 39.5, 79, 79 up till 158. So for this person, again 37 and 38, only two possibilities are there. Okay, so 37 and 38 will be distributed among these two. So 37 and 38 are also gone. So for the first two ranks, either 40 or 45 is left. Okay, so now for the second ranker, it will be 82 up till 164. Okay, 82 up till 164. So number of fours for him will not be 45. It cannot be 45. So it has to be 40, and only 45 is left. And this will be for the player number 1. Absolutely clear, I believe. Okay. So till now we are going wonderful. We are going good. Any problem up till this point? I hope all of you are going well. Okay. So let's remove the unnecessary data. So ये वाला data remove कर देते हैं. Now next thing. अब मजा और शुरू होने वाला है. Okay. चलिए. So first statement is over, second statement is over, third statement is over, fourth statement is also over. Let's talk about fifth statement now. The number of fours hit by Faf, Babar, Virat are in geometric progression in the increasing order. So now we have to look for three numbers in geometric progression in increasing order in the number of fours. Okay, so I am displaying the number of fours. Out of the number of fours, quickly give me three numbers which are in geometric progression. Quickly give me three numbers which are in geometric progression. Absolutely, Amrit. And Amrit, I believe there is only one set and there is no other set. So 10, 20 and 40. All right. So 10 number of fours, 40 number of fours, ये तो fixed है. 20 is doubtful. Okay. So now I can say that who are these three persons? Faf, Babar and Virat. So Faf is definitely the last person. Okay. Virat is definitely the second person. And beach wala kaun tha? It was Babar. So Babar will be one among these two. Okay. So Babar will be either 5 or 6. So I'll write it here. Babar will be either 5 or 6. We will get to know about it later on. Okay. Fine. Am I clear up till this point? Okay. Now let's move on to the next statement. Statement number 6, the number of fours hit by. So statement number 5 was for number of fours. Again, this is for number of fours. Now the number of fours hit by Jason, Joseph and David. Now these are the different persons. So 10, 20 and 40. These number of fours are reserved for Faf, Babar and Virat respectively. Right? Now the other three persons, Jason, Joseph and David, these three numbers should be in arithmetic progression. So get me these numbers. So Lijo has already written 13, 25 and 37. So I believe only these numbers are left. So this is gone, this is gone, this is gone. Now I need three numbers which are in arithmetic progression. So 1, 2 and 3. Yes. So it will be 13, 25 and 37. Okay. 13, 25 and 37. Right? Now, one very important catch here is in statement number 5, it was clearly mentioned that they are in increasing order. But in statement number 6, it is not mentioned that they are in increasing order. Okay, so 13, 25, 37, 37, it can be this order or it can be the reverse order. 13, 25 and 37. But in both cases, I know that Joseph will hit 25 fours. Okay. So yes, Amrit, you are absolutely correct. You have pointed it out. So Joseph will definitely hit 25 fours. So wow, so Babar के साथ Joseph आ जाएगा. So these are the two people who will hit 20 or 25 fours. Okay, so Babar Joseph or Joseph Babar. So one among these will hit. Okay, then for 13 and 37, it will be which two people? Jason and David. So for 13 and 37, I'll write it there. 13 and 37 number of fours. It will be two persons, Jason and David. Jason and David. Okay, right? So number 7 can be one among Jason or David. And so यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं, चलिए, Jason or David. Okay, and 37, right now I'm not clear who has hit 37 fours. So again, this will be either Jason or David. Okay, चलिए आगे चलते हैं. So that was statement number 6. So 5 and 6 are over. Now statement number 7. Now statement number 7 is slightly complex. So it says the number of fours hit by Rohit and Jason. These are two different things. So number of fours hit by Rohit and number of fours hit by Jason. So number of fours hit by Jason is how much? It can be, I'm sorry. So number of fours hit by Jason can be either 13 or 37. Rohit का अभी तो पता नहीं है. So I'll talk about Jason only. So number of fours hit by Jason, which can be either 13 or 37. So these two are equal to the sum of number of fours and sixes by Ross. This is one thing. And sum of number of fours and sixes hit by Joseph respectively. Okay. So carefully, respectively hai yahan pe. So I'll break this statement in two parts. Number of fours hit by Rohit, is equal to the sum of the number of fours and sixes hit by Ross. So number of fours hit by Rohit is equal to number of sixes and fours hit by Ross. Okay, the second statement, number of fours hit by Jason. Jason ने जितने fours मारे हैं is equal to the sum of number of fours and sixes hit by Joseph. Okay, so this is what they are talking about. Now Jason, now from here I can get to know about the number of fours hit by Jason. So number of fours hit by Jason should be equal to number of fours and sixes, sum of the number of fours hit by Joseph. So Joseph is here either at these two places. Now what can be, wait, not at these places, at place number 5 and 6. Okay, now for Joseph, the sum of number of fours and sixes, can it be 13? No, it cannot be. So that means I have got to know that the number of fours hit by Jason is equal to 37 and this is also equal to 37. Okay, so Jason has hit 37 fours. Okay, so at number 7 it cannot be Jason. At number 7 it is definitely David. Okay, and I can say that Jason will be at any one of these two places. Okay, Jason will be either at 3 or 4. All right. Now also I can say that the sum of fours and sixes by Joseph, it should be 37. So how can you make it 37? For Joseph, number of fours and sixes ka sum 37 hona chahiye. Tell me how this can be made. Amrit says 25 plus 12. Yes. So 25 plus 12, it can be So Amrit, Joseph will come at which place? Place number 5 or place number 6? Joseph will be player number 5 or player number 6? So Joseph cannot be player number 6 because number of sixes here is 16. So Joseph can be player number 5. And Gyaneshwari, 20 plus 16 is 36, not 37. I need it to be 37. Okay. So number of 4s and 6s hit by Joseph, the sum should be 37. For Joseph, the sum of the number of 4s and 6s should be 37. So yes, Joseph will be at number 5. All of you have already agreed. So Babar will be at number 6. Okay. Now for Joseph, the number of 4s and 6s will be 25 and 12 respectively. Okay. So for Babar, it will be 20 and 16 respectively. All right. Also, at the first position, I don't know whoever is this, but number of sixes cannot be 10. So, sorry, cannot be 12. So number of sixes will be 10. And now we are fully sorted with the number of sixes. Okay. So number of sixes is done. Number of fours also done. Players कौन से बचे हैं? Jason बचा है and एक और player बचा है. The name of that player is Ross. Okay, so at this place, no, one more player is left. Rohit is also left. Okay, so Rohit is also left. So Rohit के लिए भी अभी ये वाली condition complete नहीं हुई है. So now Jason and second part is sorted. Now let's talk about this part and number of fours hit by Rohit. Now you can get the number of fours hit by Rohit as well. So sum of the number of sixes and fours hit by Ross is equal to number of fours hit by Rohit. Now number of fours hit by Rohit is equal to sum of the number of sixes and fours hit by Ross. Now this statement clearly says that Rohit would have hit more number of fours as compared to Ross. Rohit के number of fours should be greater than the number of fours by Ross. Okay. So number of fours by Ross कम होने चाहिए as compared to that of Rohit. So Rohit will come at which place? Rohit will come at which place? Rohit should come at the first place with the number of fours as 45. Okay. And the sum here can be only 38 plus 7 or 37 plus 7. Now 38 plus 7 will give you 38 plus 7 will give you 45, which will be for Ross. All right, fine. Yes, Lijo, Rohit will be at number 1. Now, so I can say that Ross can be anyone among them, right? 38 or 7, 38 or 7. So it can be any one of these options. So now I can say that for place number 3 and place number 4, it is between Jason and Ross, and number of fours will be either 37 or 38. Okay, but definitely Ross will hit 38 fours. Okay, so let us write them respectively. So 38 or 37, and at the bottom place I'll also change the sequence, Ross or Jason. Okay, now I have written everything respectively, and this is it about this set. Okay, so now I cannot determine Jason and Ross will come at 3 or 4 as well as number of 4s or 6s. So if Ross will come at number 3, number of 4s by Ross will be 38 and number of 6s, both of them are same. Similarly, if Ross will come at number 4, so number of 4s will be 38 and number of 6s will be 7. All right, so the entire arrangement is over. So now we can move towards the questions. Now on an average, Varun, I will not be able to go back, understand yaar, theek hai? So what you can do is you can go back, you can have an option of going back once the session is over. Okay, so now let's move on. So this is the final logical structure that we have made, and yes, I have told you Ross 37, सॉरी रॉस के साथ तो 38 होना चाहिए, सो थोड़ी सी गड़बड़ है. सो रॉस के साथ इट शुड बी 38, राइट? सो इट शुड बी 38 और 37 and vice versa. Okay, now let's move towards the questions one by one. Question number 1: how many runs were scored by Joseph? How many runs were scored by Joseph? Anyone for this one? How many runs were scored by Joseph? Absolutely. So this is the table, and Joseph, where is, एक second, कुछ गड़बड़ है. David Barber. Okay, wait, यहाँ पे कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ है. So Faf, David Barber. Yes, so थोड़ा सा अरेंजमेंट में गड़बड़ है. So Joseph is at this place. So run scored is 364. All right. Okay. So yes, it is 364. Next question: how many boundaries in total, fours and sixes combined? So number of fours plus number of sixes combined were hit by Babar. How many boundaries were hit by Babar? So Babar, again we have got a fixed number. So number of sixes hit by Babar is 16 and number of fours hit by Babar is 20. So 16 plus 20, the answer should be 36. All right, so option A should be the correct one. Yes, so correct answer is option A, right? Question number 7: the number of scored by Ross were definitely more than the number of runs scored by how many other players? Carefully, the number of runs scored by Ross were definitely more than the number of runs scored by how many of the other players? So Ross can be either at 3 or 4th place. So that means definitely there are 4 players below Ross. Okay, so I can say that definitely there are 4 players. Varun, definite पूछा है, so definite तो 4 होगा ना. So Ross's position was either 3 or 4. Okay, now if Ross's position is 3, then there will be 5 person below him. If the position is 4, then there will be 4 persons below him. So I can say that definitely there are 4 other players who are below Ross as far as the total number of runs scored is concerned. So the correct answer should be 4, that is option D. Okay, so it is 4, that is option D. I hope I'm clear with this one. Definitely पूछा है. Look at this word, definitely. Okay, last question for the day: how many sixes were hit by Joseph? Easy question to end with. How many sixes were hit by Joseph? Yes, give me a number. How many sixes were hit by Joseph? Absolutely correct. Great. So Joseph has hit 12 sixes and 25 fours. So number of sixes hit by Joseph is equal to 12. All right. Okay, friends, so that is all from my side for the day. I hope that you like these sessions, you love these sets that we have done, and definitely, yes, I can say that the second set that we have done was categorized as one of the most difficult sets, one of the most time consuming sets, and the ideal time to solve this second set is somewhere around 15 minutes. Okay, so 14 to 15 minutes, yes, it's the ideal time. If you can solve it faster than that, then you are a wonderful student. But ideally 14 to 15 minutes, yes, you can take, and you can get these 4 questions in your kitty. Okay, yes, Jadev, this is what I've mentioned. So lengthy set tha, but in case you have these type of sets in CAT, I believe you should be having enough practice to solve these questions. Okay, so friends, thank you very much for being a part of this session. I hope you like this session. You can follow us on Insta. You can subscribe our YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep and press the bell icon. You can like our Facebook page, join our Telegram channel, and download the app from Google Play. So that's all from my side, my dear friends. We'll see you once again So guys, you all can catch me live tomorrow in a session on algebra. So yes, I'll be conducting some sessions. Okay, so you can catch me live with some more sessions, and one of the sessions that I'm taking tomorrow is based on algebra. So we'll see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Bye bye. Have a nice day.